For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a review video on an updated awning, should we call it, from Vango. So with me here today I've got the Vango Cove Free Air Low awning. So the Cove actually is a model that's been around for quite a number of years now, and if actually, in all honesty, it's probably Vango's best-selling driveway awning, just because it's small, it's compact, it's not necessarily expensive, but it gives you enough space for sort of weekends or even a week use. You can sleep bedding in there, and we're going to go through the whole itemized items of the actual Cove itself. Now, like I say, it's been in the range for a number of years now, and there's some big updates really for the new season. So first and foremost is not only obviously you've got a nice new kind of colour, they really helped to make it look a bit more classier, I think, really, than kind of its predecessor, the Cove 2. You've got this lovely, beautiful grey fabric, and this sort of little orange trim works really nicely with the additional webbing ropes, and also the pegging points in kind of trim as well. So one of the kind of main headline news is really with the kind of Cove now is the fact that they've actually up-spec'd the material. So now we're running with a 150 denier fabric, which is a much thicker, more robust fabric. But more importantly, what it is also, it's the way they've done the dyeing process of the material. You get better colour retention. So it features kind of Vango's sort of colour lock eco technology. And what it essentially means is that they've dyed the thread rather than the material pre-woven. What this kind of gives you is a difference between, say, like a carrot and then a radish. Your carrot being your new Cove, where the colour, when you cut it in half, for example, the colour's all the way through. So you've got beautiful green, orange colour in that case, all the way through the actual material itself. Whereas when the radish scenario, which is when you dye just the material pre-woven, you get a radish effect. So essentially, colour on the outside, you cut it, and you get basically pure white of it on the inside. So when you have sort of UV levels, it starts to strip out away that outer coating layer. So yet again, with the old method, you start to look faded, looks tired. With this, it should look sharper for longer. And obviously, with it being now 150 denier, it's going to basically be, it's going to last a bit longer, and you can feel it in the fabric when you're sort of pulling and throwing with it. You feel the thickness, even in, let's say, like the curtains. I can notice it there. It's a 3,000mm high straight head, so it still kind of sits in there, what they call a Sentinel Active collection. It's inflatable, so it's quick and easy to pitch. And you can see our own Attwoolls pitching a packing video of myself doing it in approximately about sort of 10 minutes. So it's a great awning to take away sort of touring for the weekend across, like I said, for longer stays as well. Each beam is done individually, so there's only 3 inflation points. You get a Vango specialised pump, hand pump, that comes with the awning as standard. You can buy an electric, but to be honest, it's so easy with the manual. There's no real need, in my personal opinion. If you want to sit back and relax and just press a button, let it do it for you, then yeah, I get it. The electric pump is probably not a bad thing to have a look at. We've kind of got a really nice open canopy situated on the Cove. It's basically great to have that kind of wet area, sort of wet dry area before going into your lovely awning, as demonstrated by Archie. So you can put things like your shoes and that sort of stuff under here. Alternatively, you know, you can almost cook out here under here if you want to, or sit out on a nice evening, and you've got a bit of shelter. But more importantly, what it's designed to do is actually protect this door here. So if the rain is falling, you can still leave this door open, or with a mesh, as we're going to go to in a second, and you can clearly see that you're not having it driving directly in. As mentioned, we've got guy ropes on all the way around. New kind of orange trim, really quite nice. Decent sized tube beams as well, so again it gives a good amount of strength, and it's only a low pressure system, so we're only about 7 psi for the Cove itself. Other new things we've got is actually a much bigger ventilation point down the bottom here, so this extra vent helps with airflow, helps reduce condensation, but more importantly is actually can be zipped up from the inside, so you can manage the climate from the inside without having to go through on the outside. Still crystal clear PVC windows as well to get plenty of light, and we've got toggle curtains as well, which can have a halfway position or fully up the top, depending on how much privacy you really want. At the back, we've got this new kind of sweeping design with kind of the orange trim, and actually looks really quite smart. And later on in the video, we'll take ourselves around the back and see this big, nice vent at the very top. In terms of attachments, so they are doing 2 different sizes. So there's the Cove Low and then also the Cove Mid. So the Cove Low is what I've got with me here today. It's designed to fit vehicles of attachment points from 180 to 210, whereas the mid it's 215 to 255. So a really nice bracket. So for me, if you've got more of your VW Transporter T5, T6s, your Ford Custom Transits, your Bongos, sorry, not Belingos, then really kind of the low is where you want to go. If you're looking more like your panel vans, so your Highlines or your Ducatos, that sort of thing, that's when probably the mid is going to be the one you look at. But double check your measurements before. In terms of attachment methods, you've got 4 different methods you can choose from. So you've got a pre-sewn beading onto the actual connection tunnel. So you can basically buy a fixing kit that will allow you to get out into a winder awning or just a normal C-rail. You can also have as a sleeve, so if you've got like a Rima rail or a Vamoose rail, like a multi-rail system, you can basically clamp that into the gutter, so feed a pole through, clamp that into the gutter, which would be an extra. You can also, there's little Velcro tabs, so you've got roof bars, Velcro onto there quite nice and neatly. And finally, the more simplest way of doing it is you've got storm straps that come with it. You can chuck over the top of the van, peg it down in the ground on the other side, and that'll pull that fabric up to it. And we'll have a closer look at that a little bit later on as well. But I'll tell you what, for the time being, let's kind of orientate ourselves into the awning and talk through more features that it does have to offer. So now we're in the awning, you can probably appreciate for the sort of size you've got in here. It's almost worth mentioning actually that there is a couple of options. If you like this kind of side profile design, i.e. the awning face the same way as the vehicle, there's a couple of options you can look at. If you want something bigger than this, you can look at the Galley CC, or if you want a direct bigger than this, kind of the Vango Vacation is a really nice one as well. And that one's quite a competitive price point when you consider it again versus the Cove. But this way, by having it side profile on, you face the same way as the van, not onto your neighbour's pitch. And actually, it means that you utilise the space along the van a little bit more rather than coming out too far from the vehicle. So the main body is about 3 meters 10. Tunnel sections run about sort of a metre-ish there or thereabouts. So all in all, again, you shouldn't have any problems really fitting this kind of model on a pitch. We sell hundreds of coves a year, let alone across the UK from everyone else. So, and it's never been an issue in terms of fitting on pitch size. As we kind of move in from kind of the canopy section, there's not a ground sheet that comes as standard with that front section, but one you buy the footprint, which I would highly recommend, which basically gives a protection for the main body. You get one for the tunnel section and also that front section as well. So that is well worth having a look at. The front panel really is going to be your weather-tight seal against whatever's going on outside. So not only have you got your crystal clear windows as well, you've got privacy curtains located in the front, but the main door also acts as one of your biggest ventilation panels. So what we've got is a sort of like a 2-in-1 door. So we can unravel that. That essentially then zips up, and behind, inbuilt into the door, is your full mesh part. So, and the other thing I do like about this in particular is that it zips along the bottom here, so it is a real thorough kind of connection. Again, because it's on the front door itself, it's zipped, you can have a little bit of airflow, but also a bit of privacy, so you can kind of tailor it as you need to do. The door quite nice and neatly rolls away as well. And it's worth mentioning actually with the tunnel door into the main body of the tunnel, for example, is also the same idea. So you do have a mesh part to it as well. So again, for ventilation points, not only have you got your sort of main front door, your tunnel door, and a low level ventilation beneath the window, so your airflow coming through. Obviously the mesh vent up here as well is also a nice benefit. Headroom wise, pretty nice in here. I'm about 6'2", stand up in the middle. When we get to the corners, you have got a little bit of an arc, but certainly like furniture and stuff can get quite close. Decent size beams as well to give a good amount of stability. Vango also, for stability purposes, give you their TBS system. So it stands for tension band. What essentially it is a connection point in the middle, creates a triangle formation with the guy ropes to give more structure inside. So we have wind coming from one direction. As that kind of bools in, this triangle point keeps its shape. You have got it located here. To be honest, you can just take them down, put them in the pocket. It's only something you'd probably put in if you're leaving the awning on its own or in adverse weather conditions. But especially if you have things like you want to utilise the bedroom, you can buy for this. So you do a bedroom which is the 2-berth bedroom, BR001. Fits in there, get a 2-berth airbed in there, quite nice and neatly, and that way you're still not compromising the walk through into kind of the to and fro area. It is reversible, but you wouldn't really have it on this side just because you block the door. So to be honest, you would have it that side and kind of keep it that side if you wanted to. Now it's also worth mentioning that you can opt for, there's a polycotton version of this, and we've done a separate kind of review video on that, which is the Cove TC. So you can check out that as well. But the printing process and everything will be exactly the same. So really nice and simple to do. You've got a hanging point for a lantern located centrally in the point here as well. So you can have lighting quite nice and neatly in here. And there's actually a trip-free access into the tunnel section. So your door for pushchairs, wheelchairs, that sort of stuff would be coming directly from the van. So what you probably do is head through the tunnel door and then into the main awning from there. So that would be the best option. You have got 2 tunnel doors, so one at either side of the vehicle. So if you need to get to the back of the vehicle, you don't have to go out and around. You can quite literally go through that tunnel section. In fact, let's bring the camera inside and we can have a better look at that as well. So as we kind of head on in, like I said, small, compact, works really nicely. Decent sort of size for the front section. There's a little bit of lip on the front, which again gives you that better seal, but that's that low level ventilation point down there. So you see that keeps it with airflow. Absolutely crystal clear windows above it. And then you come to this back point here. As we kind of look out, we come into your main door. So that's your sort of, it toggles up and toggles down, and has 2 toggle points onto the main door as well to keep it. And that's the main door sort of rolled away quite nice and neatly. Because of the kind of funnel effect, what you find is you will have this kind of entrance part to it. So you still get access to the van. I didn't admittedly position this probably in the best way, but you can open the door still, and I've got a bit of room so I can always shift forward as well. But you've got a tension point located there to tension it also up and back, so it keeps it looking sharp. Also got a vast cape part on the side, and door works really quite nicely. And because of the way it's cut, you've got a slightly higher point sent in the middle here, so it helps to shed water off either side. And again, the back side looks very similar. As we kind of head out, we'll have a little wander around and look at that tunnel. So the tunnel section, you see it's pitched quite nicely in how taut that is. They've really refined their tunnels, actually shape a bit more with their lower models now, so it fits a lot better on smaller vehicles. But we can see what we were talking about previously with kind of the clip, which would be a buckle to go over the top. You've got your sleeve, which will basically take a pole for a clamp. And then you've got your cater, and then finally your Velcro tabs just located there. So that all helps look it really nice and sharp. And we'll kind of go round and have a bit more side profile view as well. But you see how it doesn't really come any further forward. It just acts as a door. But I think the way I love the kind of the contours of this new piping, I think it flows really nicely. I think, yeah, like I said, it does look really quite sharp, especially from the back. That kind of colour scheme, I think, yeah, no, I do like that quite a lot. And I can see how big that vent is from the outside, you know, how it swoops up. So all in all, like I said, the Cove, for me, has been an incredibly popular model. It's one of probably the best sellers across any brand, really. And the new additions they've done for the new season really help and make a difference. I think what was already a good spec is now even better. I think it almost shifts kind of its where you put it in the rest of the market in terms of value for money. And so with all these extra features, I think it's one of those things. It's hard to imagine how they've got that product better in terms of price. And I think, wow, for what you pay, for what you get, I can definitely see what goes on really. For more information, of course, feel free to check the link below this video, take you through to our website. We have all the latest offers, prices, specs, pack sizes, floor dimensions, everything you need to know kind of about it, as well as that pitching video we've done on the Cove as well to show you how quick, simple and easy it really is to pitch. But of course, we always love to hear from you guys as well, so let us know what you think of the product. Have you got a Cove? How you think it is? So all in all, I think that's probably one of the criticisms maybe in the past actually with the Cove was how that tunnel fitted on smaller vehicles, which Vango certainly took on board and addressed with the kind of fit of it. So that should make things a lot simpler and a lot cleaner from that point of view. But all in all, a bit of a thumbs up here for the Cove 3. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon in our next Attwoolls video review.